Alrighty. Thoughts on Agent Argyle? It's okay. um, I don't hate it, don't, but I didn't particularly love it either. The film, it's like I guess kind of silly, right? Which is nice. It's like tongue in cheek. I would describe it. It's a little silly with how its action is and stuff. Um, Cool thing with the film, or like a interesting feature that they do in it, is you can see a donkey through a rear view mirror. That is so cute. That's what that thing is moving. Movie theater is right by some pasture land, so that's kind of cute. That's cool. Anyhow, back to the review. Um, yeah, the action sequences, they put like the music, I guess the score. I'm not a fan of the score, but I think it's cool that when the action sequences are happening, they're fighting, they're shooting, fucking it's not, it's like kind of tongue-in-cheeky music, right? Dancing music. And one scene where Ellie, or Rachel rather, and the guy, whatever his name, Aiden, when they're dancing together, it's how do you call the music's on, and they're like dancing as they're shooting all these men that are coming after them, like a classic kind of trope in those type of movies, right? In the trailer, Michael Cranston's character looks like he's the villain, and the trailer got it right. They portray it. They kind of, I guess, they show you. Maybe that's the intention. Yeah, spoils. He is he's like the main villain of the film, and well, her name's Ellie, but Ellie's got her memories wiped away or something, like mind controlled, and so we know how Michael Cranston is her fake father, and then the lady is her fake mother. And that Argylle is because her name is Rachel. Oh my god, it's like Rachel R. Kyle, something like that. And so she's Agent Argylle, right? Argylle is like just a play on her name, basically. And another feature of the film that I didn't care for, but I guess it's kind of cool. It's she says, I literally see Agent Argylle in you, or all around the time, or like him physically in person. And when she first gets introduced to Aiden, and he's fighting villains on this train that seem to come like out of nowhere, like they just endless waves of them, and they constantly are coming in. And there's even a scene where he shoots through the window where there's passengers, because there are passengers on the train too, along with her, and he shoots like through, and nobody notices this, and then when they're running through the same cart with all these guys, they're running through, and they have their guns out, and I don't know, like people, I guess maybe people were freaking out. I don't need to show that, but I just thought it was kind of funny. I guess, like I said, the film's kind of silly, right? And I think it's intentional. It's not, don't, you don't have to take this too seriously, right? But yeah, she sees Agent Argylle in like shots and stills as Aiden's fighting. So it'll be Aiden punching, then it'll switch to Argylle about to punch, and then Aiden punching, or these kind of flip-flops. So then way later in the film, when they're at Samuel Jackson's, who's like the deputy director of the CIA, or like formal deputy director of the CIA. And that's important because he wants the files, I guess, to put people in jail. And then there's this guy, McManus, or something like that. There's this gentleman that's a hacker, and then Ellie killed him because he was got a double cross. Or not double cross, but like just be not fair. Like, hey, we paid you this much to get this information. But now you have it, now that I have it, right, I'm gonna like hold it ransom and say no, and then you gotta pay me a little extra. Fucking, what else happened in this film? Where was I? I'm kind of all over the place. I'm not gonna try to do a whole rundown. I guess let's go through things that I like. The cat was cute. I like the cat. Oh my god, what was the cat's name? Alfie the cat. That was cute. And I like at the end when Alfie jumps over her shoulder and onto Cranston's face and scratches him up, and then Aiden shoots him, like I guess presumably in the head. It doesn't hit Alfie, and then Alfie jumps off and he's by the body. He's licking his paw like, how adorable I am. You know, I just killed that guy. That was cute. Kira, that's another character, and she's like, you know, the secret agent guy, like in Tom Cruise, right? For example, they have oh my god, it had a name for him. He has his own name. He's the redhead ginger actor, like from Shaun of the Dead, I believe he's in that film as well. But they always have like someone in behind the scenes that's doing the reconnaissance or computer stuff, the computers, and that's what we get in this film too. And that's Kira, and Kira gets shot because, like, in the opening sequences, like we see in the trailer, right? The opening sequences, with Dua Lipa's character, they're dancing, and well, yeah. Let me get from there. So I like the how she says, you know, I hope you dress as well as you dance, and then he says, oh, there's only one way to find out. I think they might have showed that in the trailer. I'm not sure. Another thing, and then when he says, hey, I need some help, Kira helps him. She puts the smoke down in this room. How convenient, right? The smoke just falls down from this room. And then all these agent guys, all these secret agent people, you know, they all draw their weapons at once and they fire rapid will. And so you know, and Agent Argylle steps out of the building, whatever he was, you know, that building was just in. He steps out of that building, and nobody's coming out after him. So I guess everybody just fucking killed each other. You know, the smoke's everywhere. We're just gonna shoot blindly all over the place. So I don't know, I thought that was funny. And then Dua Lipa's character is on a motorcycle and she's shooting at the car, and yeah, okay, she hits Kira, and it makes sense because, like, the windshield, there's no way the windshield is bulletproof, so he hits Kira, but she doesn't hit Agent Argylle. I guess maybe she wasn't intending to, because the door only can cover so much of his body, but like his legs are still very much exposed, and like if she wanted to, maybe she could have just, you know, kind of aimed it a little lower, maybe, you know, move the gun around and get the legs, maybe, possibly. I don't know, I'm guessing she didn't even try to really hit him. And then the nice little chase sequence, it's short-lived, but it's something. What else? I like the John Cena. I like the partnership with Argylle and John Cena, like how they're partners together. And throughout the end of the film, when Ellie or Rachel is explaining, like, because that it's the 5th book, right? And she's at this press for the book, at this press meeting type thing. The fans are there and they ask her, so we're not going to get a 6th book, then can we at least know what happens after, because now they're not secret agents anymore, right? They don't do missions and stuff. And she's explaining how each character is what they went to, or what happened with them moving forward. And what do you call, she mentions, you know, the 2 guys, they're partners. Klaus, I think his name was Klaus, I don't even remember. John Cena and Argylle, the 2 agents, they're partners, so whatever they do it together. I guess, you know, friends, right? I like when they capture Dua Lipa's character and she's sitting at the table, and she's got like a little poison in her fucking necklace or something, and she just takes that, kills herself, because they threaten, like, hey, we're gonna kill you if you don't tell us, like, who sent you or whatever the fuck. And she's just like, yeah, okay, it's time to fuck out of here then, and she kills herself. Boom, she's dead. So that, I don't know, I thought that was kind of funny. What else with this film, with this movie? Nothing much after that. I like when we're in Michael Cranston's, so I also like this scene where he's got the shotgun. The shotgun's name is Clementine, and this gentleman here, he like screwed up something for him. He didn't do something right, and he's loading the gun, and he's talking about my grandfathers or fathers or something like that. And this gun was only used to kill, you know, to hunt, to protect, and or to kill imbeciles that fuck up, you know, my gig here, right? And he walks over to he walks over to the gentleman and points the gun at him, and he tells him, hey, you know, it's a mistake, it's never gonna happen again. And I like that he turns around and says, oh, I know. And he shoots him from behind. Boom. I thought that was cool. That because the film is PG-13, whenever they shoot people or people are getting shot in this film, they're getting, you know, their asses handed to them. They fucking, how do you call? They don't show much blood, or any blood, really, for that matter. Which I guess makes sense, given the context of, you know, the rating system, right? If you show the blood, then the rating, it can't be that rating anymore. So, I mean, I guess that was kind of, I took note of that immediately with the first kind of fight sequence. Like, people get shot, and when they do, they get shot, like, off camera. You know, they won't get shot. or they get shot, and you don't see any, like, kind of visible wound with it. You know, there's blood. It's, like, very minimal blood, right? Things I didn't care for. Well, you know, I think I already spoke about two of them. I mean, not much really. The pacing was okay, I guess. I mean, I kept me entertained. It did feel long. I'm not sure how long this film is. I went in blind to it. But for me, it did feel long. It kind of dragged a bit. At some point, I closed my eyes and I thought, like, I can totally see myself just falling asleep to this, unironically, you know, nice background noise film to this kind of keep in the background and I sleep. Real nice. Let's see, what else comes to mind for this video? The computers. I like the computers in the room. We find out that the office is actually, they're on a ship. And we find that out later in the film, really big cargo-like ship. Or like, well, not a cargo ship, like an oil ship. Yeah, actually, because there's even a scene when they're shooting in the ship and there's oil spilling out. And how do you call, they say, hey, protocol, like, don't shoot because this oil is fresh, and if it sparks, we're all gonna go. We're all gonna fucking die in this room right here. And so everybody, and then the head honcho, or like the second in command, or the leader of the gunman, right? The henchman leader. He's like, hey guys, you know, knives out, guns, put the guns down, knives out. Everyone gets their knives out, and they're sneaking around up to the front. And then one of the things with Ellie, or Rachel's character, is that she had an accident. That's why the memory is hazy. And the reason for that was the ice skating accident. That was the reason you fell through the ice. But that part was a lie, right? And because Aiden tells her that most of it is a lie. It's mostly a lie, but some of it is real. And so we get the admission from Aiden, like, yeah, actually the ice skating part is real. You are an ice skater. And so that's something you do really well. And so she starts ice skating, and when she's ice skating, she's fucking, how do you call... what was I thinking of in my head? She's killing them like a badass, right? She's really good at the skate. She puts the two knives down, she steps on the knives, and they just stay to her boots because movie logic, right? And when she's skating there, she's shooting a lot of boom, 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 killing all these guys. Or, well, she kills them with the knives first, and then she gets the gun and she shoots. And I like, there was a patron in the theater with me, and he said, well, how come she shot her gun and like it didn't explode? And the wife said to the husband, oh, well, she shot like above, she didn't shoot towards the ground. But all this, like, there's all these metal pipes around that, like, sure, like, with all the bullets she hit, some of those bullets must have hit like metal, maybe ricochet, bounce off somewhere, right? I don't know. It's but movie logic, right? I just had a thought of something in the film I like. Oh yeah, the title cards, right, where we get names for places. Like Greece, Hong Kong, we're in London. I like when they show the fucking the map. They show a map, and it looks like we're like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, right? Around, we're in the Emirates, right? But then when we get the shot of like the location, they just say Arabian Peninsula, and we're like in the middle of the desert, this 2-lane road, middle of the desert, and this compound's like also in the middle of the fucking desert. And but I thought that was kind of funny because like as you look on the map, it's clearly like we're in the Emirates. I'm pretty sure, like the square is right dead on, like where Abu Dhabi, where the big cities and the Emirates would be just about. And but when we get when we get the title card, when they go there, it's fucking, it just says Arabian Peninsula. So I don't know, I thought that was kind of funny. Um, yeah, that's kind of it. I don't really have much to say about the film, at least not now, and I probably won't outside of that. It's an okay movie. I give it like 3 out of 5 stars. It's okay for me. They have a title card at the end where the credits, and thank God it wasn't too long into the credits because I didn't want to stick around. I couldn't stick around really. I had to pee really bad, but yeah, they have a title card towards the end of the film, and the title card says 20 years into the future. There's this pub, and I think it's called the King's Men or something like that. So like maybe it's or like, oh my God, what's that movie? There's a movie like King's Watch, I think maybe called the King's Men or something like that. A previous film franchise that's also an action film. And I think it's kind of like this. It's sort of silly, although I think the King's Watch for King's Men, maybe it's a bit more graphic and violence. Don't think I've ever seen the film in full, only like pieces of that film. Never seen it entirely. But it says 20 years later, and the guy, it's a young kid, he's talking to this older gentleman in the bar, and he gives him like these code words, and he says, well, you're talking to me, you must be, if you're giving me these code words, you must be in some serious trouble right now for something. And the kid, and he asks the kid his name, inquires the name of the kid, and the kid says, oh my God, it was Odin, Argylle, something like that. So I'm guessing that's her child, right? That's her kid or something. You can see it's a young person, and so I guess and that they're kind of setting up. They set up for a sequel, so the film's gonna have a sequel. But even without that title card, they do it in the actual, like in the film. I was like the actual full picture besides that end thing. Because there's a guy like when she's having the meeting, right, that I mentioned earlier with where did everybody go at the end of the story. There's a gentleman that gets up, raises his hand, and that gentleman, he's got like a yellow shirt. It's like a fan shirt, and she got a look of shock on his face for some reason, but I don't recognize his fucking face. It kind of looks like maybe Agent Argylle, which I'm guessing that's like this is the same actor, but the hair is long. But I said maybe that's supposed to be him, but I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling with this introduction of this character, but she looks worried about it. So yeah, I guess it should be Argylle too, or maybe not. It depends how well this film does, right? Will I go see it? Probably. I mean, I didn't love this film, so this is like there's other films in theater that I find interesting. By the time this is even a thing, if they even put it in theaters, I probably wouldn't bother to see it. Just watch someone else watch a review. Kind of like I want to know what happens in the story, but I don't know if I care enough to watch it. Rather just hear someone else summarize the story for me, right? Yeah, didn't hate it, didn't love it. It's just okay. Agent Argylle, thoughts, review, analysis with quotation marks, because more it's just me rambling, right? Alrighty, thank you for listening if you bothered to do so.